Go.
Hi, my name is Sunny, and this video is intended to show you what the new Sabre Cobalt Edition 38DBQ looks like. Now, this is a late model 2020 edition, so if you got one early in the year, there are changes that I'm going to show you. So if you go to your dealer, they may have the beginning year models, and there are some changes that you might want, so you'll definitely want to wait and get a later year model. It's also just to show you what comes in this option. It has a rear bunk, plus it has 2 full bathrooms in it. And then just to kind of show you some other things that we have found that could be better. I'll put it that way. So right now you can see this is the lighting, the accessory docking lighting. It turns on and off here. This one is equipped with solar. We actually have a solar panel on the roof that came with the model. We requested that. That is not something that is standard. You would have to order that to have the solar panel on the roof, but they all come wired for the solar add-on. So here underneath, so this is the underneath. This one comes with 2 batteries. Is there a light in here?
No.
Well, here, we'll do it this way. This comes with 2 batteries. We have an inverter, so one is for the inverter, one is for just the regular 12-volt stuff. The spare tire is in this part. In the older models, the spare tire was on the back. I actually like that better because, as you can see, you're not left with much room in here at all. This is the inverter. This runs we have a residential refrigerator, so it runs that, and the solar panel will power that as we're riding. So it does come with auto level. It is electric auto level, not hydraulic. All of Sabre products come with 20-pound tanks in them. Reason being, you can hot swap if you run out of propane and you're not near someplace that can refill. You can hot swap with any 20-pound propane place at like a Walmart or a gas station or stuff. We actually went and bought 30-pound tanks and installed them. So they will fit a 30-pound. It was not easy to get it in there, but they will do that. So this is the basement. The light's on the other side. So this is the control center. It's got an outdoor shower. Spot here for you to bring your wiring or your hoses up through. Hot water winterizing, tank flushes, your water connections. So when you get these, they tell you that they are cable and satellite capable. That's a lie. You can do cable, you can do satellite. If you want to watch satellite, you're going to watch the same thing in every room. It's only going to run receiver. So if your kid is watching SpongeBob, everybody in the place is watching SpongeBob. Cable is a little bit different. So we knew that going in because we went and did a tour of the plant and had them explain to us what they were doing. Told them they were wrong. It's still coming out this way. So my husband, Dwayne, is doing the video. He ran wiring. So we've got living room, bunkhouse, and outdoor cable hookups here. And so the satellite feed can come up and hook up into here. The master bedroom's on the other side. Correct. And so one thing you always want to check, because nobody likes the 4-legged critters getting into their house. There are some things, as you can see, some places they've been sealed up pretty good. But as you can also see, some places it's not sealed at all. So we have some foam. We've just been doing some things, so we haven't gotten around to putting the foam in yet, but we will. So that is, you always want to check underneath and make sure that all of the holes, and I'm going to show you another big one, are sealed up so that the mice don't get in your camper. So our gray tank and our black tank handles are down here. And the cold and hot water drain lines. So, come around this side. I'm going to take my knee pad with me. This is our other tank. Again, we did replace 2 brand new 30 pounds. If you have a dog or...
Point out that valve.
This valve?
Yeah.
So this valve here, this is what shows you. So right now you see it's green. So that means that this tank is full. When the tank runs out, it starts to show red. And then once it's completely empty, it'll automatically switch to the other tank. This is the other side of the basement. It is a full pass-through, which is nice. And you heard the heater just kick on. So they do have heat that runs through here. So here's the antenna cable and the satellite inputs here. And it does have an outlet here and then another pass-through for you to bring lines and stuff up. If you have a dog, there is a spot to tie up your dog, or your cat, I guess, if you want. It has outdoor speakers. Keep in mind that when you turn the unit on inside, the speakers outside and inside all come on until you turn either the inside or the outside off. That means that if you turn your TV on, your speakers on at 11 o'clock at night, they're going to come on out here as well. Even if you only push the inside option, they still come on out here. So keep that in mind. This is our outdoor kitchen, which I'm not going to be able to get closed. It does have a sink. Has upper cabinets, refrigerator, and another big cabinet here. Light. So this is pretty nice. One of the things that was changed between the early 2020 model to this one, this is your bracket for your grill. The bracket on the other ones was down here. When we first got this, we thought that they had completely eliminated the bracket in the grill. Mind you, my grill was not included. They are sending me the grill. But we found before we even left the dealership, we actually saw that they moved it up over to here. And I believe that I was told that the grill that is included is an actual grill. Uses the LP connection down here. It's not like a 2-burner stove. It's an actual grill. So we're talking about things that didn't get sealed up properly. Take a look right here.
Can't see it.
This goes from the sink into the underbelly of the camper. There is nothing sealing that. Also keep in mind that this hose, this is not a PEX line. This is just regular braided lines. So if you are not winterized and you are in a cold location, there's a very good possibility that you will bust these lines. We're going to try and configure something that will come up in here and we can put insulation in it. I mean, we're in southwestern Ohio. It's about 35 degrees outside right now. We are winterized, but some people I know do stay in colder locations. So it's just something to keep in mind. This is also a spot that you're going to get mice, that you could potentially get mice into. So we're going to seal that up too. I can't reach that. So this is the door to our rear bathroom. It has a regular pull downstairs here. We actually went and looked at a Grand Design that had a rear bath, but it was the regular fold downstairs instead of this kind. I actually didn't like that. I like these better because to even get in there and utilize the bathroom, you had to basically put the stairs down. If you're just wanting to run in there real quick while using your unit and not pull all that down, that's a bit of a pain in the butt. I like this better for just rear access. And then there's a ladder to the top. The roofs on these are PVC. It's a PVC sheet, and then it's sealed along the edges and everything, of course. We have two AC units on this one. We actually upgraded. Both of them are 15,000 units. The way it comes is a 15,000 in the rear and a 13.5, I believe, in the front, and we upgraded to the 15. So one change they did make between the earlier units and this one, as you can see, if you know anything about them, they used to have a metal grate that went in here that would flip up so that you could store extra stuff on the back. That's not here anymore. This is also where the spare tire was. I really think that was a better option, but this is what we're left with now. And we will go inside because it's cold out here. It has an awning. The awning comes out over top of this slide here and does extend all the way over top of the basement area, which is nice because if it is raining, you can still get out to this area without getting all wet. The lift downstairs, we actually put this RV lock in. We got this at a special price for Black Friday. So this has a remote lock on it, which you can press to unlock. It came with a regular lock on it. So this is the inside of our Sabre. When I went looking for a unit, there were some must-haves that we needed to have. I needed to have a large kitchen island. I needed to have a bunk area. I wanted the second bath and tons of storage. And this one really fit the bill for that. So this is a TV. It is a 40-inch TV. This is the only TV that comes with the unit. You had to buy separate TVs for the bunkhouse and for the master, so that's what we did. This is locked down with the thing here. You pull it and release it. There is a ton of storage behind this unit, so at least actually beyond my elbow back there, so you can put components, extra DVDs, toys, games, anything else that you extra want to store there. When Dwayne did the satellite wiring, he had to remove the fireplace and then bring the wiring up into here, and that's what this extra jack is for. The drive system that runs the sound here does not have a DVD player in it. The older units had DVDs. This does not, as you can see. This cord here is because the only way to get the sound from the TV to run through the system in the unit is you have to plug into the front of it. This is not very handy. This is more of a pain in the rear end. And remember that when you turn this on, if you've got that volume really loud, it does turn on both the inside and the outside systems at the same time. So just keep that in mind if you start turning the TV on at midnight. This is a Furrion unit for the fireplace. It's a 1500 BTU unit, and it can change color. So it's got an amber, it can go to blue, and then it does red. And the temperature goes from 65, I mean, I've got it set at 95 now. I may even go up higher than that. It does put out a pretty good amount of heat. I mean, I'm standing 4 feet away and I can feel the heat coming out of it. It has a lot of storage above. So 3 cabinets here again. I can reach my whole arm in there and I'm still not touching the back of it. You might want to put a shelf or something in there maybe, or some tiered stuff to give you a little more storage capability. So this unit has a humongous island as far as I can reach tip to tip. That was one of the things that I wanted, was a nice big island with a lot of extra prep space. A couple of the units we looked at, the island was maybe only about this wide. Has a farmhouse style sink. What that means is it actually comes out a little bit past the edge of the cabinet and lips out. All of the hardware in here has been changed. So you can see this is black, the hardware is black, the sink itself is black. In the newer model units, or the, I guess, early part year units, everything was nickel. I kind of like the black better. And this covers up, gives you even more storage space or counter space when you're not using the sink. Another thing that I really liked was this space here. Some of the models that we looked at, it was only about this much. We also looked at a Grand Design. It had maybe about 5 to 6 inches. To me, that was wasted space there. There are a lot of extra puck lights around to give you more light. There's a light here that shines down along with the fan for venting. There are 3 drawers here. This one's about 3 to 4 inches deep. And then these bottom 2 are maybe about 8 inches deep, 6 to 8 inches, I would say. One underneath of a stove. This is a nice big one to put pots and pans in. Gas stove. And it's a 3-burner top, which is pretty nice. And it comes down and covers for a nice smooth surface. Regular microwave, not a convection, but big enough for us. Another good sized cabinet here. We'll probably put a shelf in here. So we have a residential refrigerator in ours. Our last camper we had one of the RV style. It was an 8 cubic foot. So this is a nice upgrade for us. We camp with 5 people, so having enough food is really key. So refrigerator, and then it's got 2 freezer style drawers. This one here, and the one in the bottom. It does not have an ice maker, so you either have to get ice. You can make ice in this tray. And it has these little things that hook on so that you can close them up while you're traveling so the refrigerator doesn't open up. This is a nice pantry area here. These are deep. These are at least a foot deep, and they're nice and tall, so you can put things like cereal boxes or other tall items in these. That was also something that I was looking at, was to be able to put deep, tall items in. And it's a little bit of a lip in each of them, kind of keep the food and cans and stuff in there. So underneath of the sink, there is a nice big area there. Plenty of room to put a trash can and some other things to store. Again, a spot here that leads down into the underbelly that your 4-legged critters could get up in. That's another spot we will seal up. And then 3 drawers. All 3 of these are about 3 inches deep. And then a CO detector down here. This is another closet or pantry. Now in this one, the shelves do remove. All 3 shelves can come out if you want to have some tall objects in there, or just use it for additional pantry items that you want to store. Now in the Sabre site itself has a video where it walks through this newer unit, because it shows many of the new items in the late model. And in it, it talks about a light that is in here, because there is no light in here. And when we questioned our dealer about it, they didn't know what we were talking about. So they sent a message to the Sabre rep, who didn't know what we were talking about. And I told him to watch their video. They see it. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on with that. So we're not sure if we're going to get a light in there or not, but it would have been nice when you opened up the door, it automatically came on. We got some shelving here. These are about a foot deep. A nice countertop, put your coffee maker or other appliances on. We have USB and electrical jacks throughout many places in this camper. We've got one here, and then there's one down here underneath of the kitchen island also. The drawers here, and then these 2 are deeper. These are probably about 8 inches deep on both of those. This is your furnace air return. So theater seating on these has a pull lever, which pops it up. It has heat on it, 2 levels of heat. It vibrates on the back. There's 3 levels of vibration, and then it lights up. So the cup holders light up, and as you can see underneath, it lights up. Spot here to store your maybe some books or your remotes or stuff like that. And then we went with the dining table with chairs instead of the dinette. Reason being is, like I said, we travel with 5 people. My husband and I, my daughter, and my 2 small grandkids, 2 under the age of 5. So on our last one we had the dinette. It was a pain in the butt to get in and out all the time, to let the kids in and pull the kids out. I'm hoping this is a little better functionality using the chairs. And we're actually going to put a leaf on here to pull up so that we can put a 5th chair here. And these chairs are kind of neat. They do have a little bit of storage under them. You lift this up and there's some in there, so I could put your kids some coloring or some stuff like that in there. One of the new things that is with this late model is these blinds. These are called zebra blinds. I'll show you over here. So you can open or close them to let in however much light you want. So as you can see now, you look out, it's actually raining. You can see all the way out. You can adjust it down or up. As you can see now, it's closed and it doesn't let. So let as much light in that you want. I like these better than the regular pull blinds. The only place that you get these is in the main living area, and then over by the bathroom, that one there is also like that. Other than that, they're all the regular pull Venetian blinds. So the lighting in here is a couple different things. The pendant lighting over the dining room table turns on and off behind it. For short people like me, it's a bit of a stretch. But then we have a pendant here, and there's actually accent lighting around, and then the lights in the ceiling. So I'm going to show you. The lights in the ceiling are turned off by the switch on the wall. The pendants and the accent lighting are turned off in the control panel. So as you can see, what is left is this accent lighting. So there's a little bit underneath of the island, and then there's the stuff up there at the top. It's kind of nice if you have small kids. They get up in the middle of the night, then they can come out and get something to snack on or to drink, and they don't have to turn all the lights on. So the pendant lights and the accent lighting is all controlled by the control panel, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So this is the bunk room. One of the changes they made this in the late model is, instead of this being a door that opens out like a normal door, it is now a barn style door. So I like this better because it leaves you more room. So this camper has, in the bunkhouse, has 4 bed areas. It has the couch down here, it has the bunk up here, and then there are 2 bunks up above. I would recommend small children up there. I climbed up in there, could not get back out again. So I will tell you that this bunk here, it lifts up and it locks in to the pins on the side. But I would not recommend traveling with it in that way. I would travel with it down. The reason being, when we got ours, when we went through the inspection, this bracket right here was all screwed up, and we believe what happened was one of the pins had worked loose and it was bouncing as it was being traveling down the road. Because when we left the dealership with both pins locked up, by the time we got home, which was less than 20 miles, one of them had already worked its way out. So we will travel with it in this position here. But I mean, this is a nice bunk for kids. This comes with either the jackknife sofa, or you can get a trifold sofa. We decided to get the trifold sofa just because it gives more room. So I think the jackknife is what comes standard. I'll show you. So you take off, and these feet come down. And this is just slightly smaller than what would be considered a sofa bed queen. I measured it, and our queen sheets will be just slightly large on this. And then you can put the cushions in the back there. So this is a nice size, especially because my daughter and my grandson will probably be sleeping on this together. So this is a nice size. And as you can see, there's still plenty of room here to walk around if you wanted to get to the bathroom. You can open up the cabinets with it being open. In our last camper, when we had the sofa open, it was directly in front of the cabinets. You could not get the cabinets open at all. So if the kids wanted to get their toys out, we had to close up the bed every single day. Not all that convenient when you have other things you could be doing. And then it just pucks back down. And these cushions are just held in by Velcro. So the storage in these is pretty big. These storage cabinets here are the entire, the slide. This is where your outdoor kitchen is. I mean, I can reach in, I can't even reach the back. This is a ton of room. This wiring here is what my husband ran for to get the satellite up. It actually runs through the cabinets in the outdoor kitchen area and comes over. So both of the ones up here, the one over here, are the same depth. These ones here are still over a foot in length, or in depth, I guess I should say. And they actually extend all the way through. These ones, it's a little more difficult to get to with the ladder here, but this is where the ladder travels. And there's really nowhere else for it to be, so you just kind of have to move it if you wanted to get to those. This TV is a 32-inch TV. Again, this is one that we had to buy. Again, tons of storage space back here. Up and down. Be able to put games, toys, clothes, anything back in there. And these are locked down. Then over here we've got more storage. And these are about 18 inches deep. Again, another USB port. When we were looking at campers, the runner-up that we were looking at was Grand Design, which talked that about how wide it is, but it is about 3 foot shorter. And so you lost a lot of storage in the bunk area. You didn't have this storage area here. There was a bunk here. The TV would have had to be mounted to the wall. There was one area for storage below, and that was about it. So that was one of the things we were looking at, was I needed to maximize storage space. And this one really fits the bill for that. So in the bathroom, again, another barn door. And so this is a full bathroom. This is the door that goes outside. Porcelain toilet. Nice size medicine cabinet, at least 3 inches deep. A little bit of storage here. As you can see, there's another spot here where the stuff comes up. There's a spot that we're gonna have to seal up to make sure mice don't get up in here. And a shower with a tub. I really like the tub feature, especially with small kids. I think it does better. And then there is a fan up there. You can hear it kicked on. So there is a separate gray and black tank specifically for the back bath here. And this is the monitor for it. So the gray and the black tank are both empty. So this is the control panel area here. This voltage here measures, we have 2 batteries, remember? So one for the inverter, one for the regular 12-volt system. We have them wired in a series. So we have the juice pack, we have the the solar system on the roof. So that runs and feeds the battery with the inverter. Basically, because they're running series, it's feeding it together, and that's the voltage we're getting off of that. It came to us that way from the dealer, running series, but we would have tied them in series if it had not come that way. If yours comes and it is not tied in series, then this voltage is only going to be reading what's coming off the inverter. So this is the separate. We have 2 grays and 1 black tape that finishes for the area that doesn't include the back. So you can see both of these all show empty. This is our freshwater tank, and then this is our battery, and it is full. The heater and the pump for the water is here. So on this, you can see we've got it set at 60 degrees. That is not the temperature that's in here. That's just what it's set at. It doesn't show you like what the actual temp is in the unit. So we'll probably just put a little thermometer up here so that we can kind of keep track of it. Now our unit did come with a heat pump on the furnace that does run off of the main unit, which is the one that is in the bunkhouse. So it heats this whole entire area here, but that will only heat until it gets about 40 degrees. After that, your propane is going to kick in and supply your heat. So this inverter here, when you press it, you see the light comes on. If you disconnect from your shore power and you don't press this on, it is not going to turn the power on to your refrigerator. You have to push it on and make sure that the light is green. Now, when we got ours, the button on the front of the inverter was actually pushed on, so it showed green all the time, whether or not we pushed it on and off. Since this is a remote, the button on the inverter itself needs to be in the off position for you to control it this way. This is the power system here. So as you can see, this has got some ways. So this is how I turn on those kitchen accent light and the accent lighting. The awning has a light on it. You can put your awning out and retract it this way. All the slides work this way. You can level it through this. This also can be sync with an app on your phone through Bluetooth. So because it's Bluetooth, it's only going to work for about 30 feet away. Keep that in mind. And it's called a Lippert Control 1 system. So that's pretty nice. And then these lights are the ones that run, the one in the kitchen and then this one right here above us in the hall area. So this is down here is your fuses and your breaker panel. So you see that the breakers and everything is labeled, as well as what the fuses are being run right there. So we'll go into the main bath area. So there are two lights in the bath. This little one here that lights up just below the sink, and then the main one above. So there is again another medicine cabinet here. Nice big sink area and area underneath of the sink. A lot more room in here. Again, another spot where wiring comes up through. Or hoses, I guess, not really wiring. Then in this unit, this is something that I, and a lot of campers you don't find, is this cabinet back here. So, and this cabinet is very deep. It's probably about 3 to 4 inches down. And so this is a nice place to put have extra storage of stuff. And then each of these two cabinets here, plus this cubby, they go the length, or I guess I should say the width of the shower system. I can reach my whole arm in here and still not touch the back. So this is a nice place for extra toilet paper, toiletries, towels, all that stuff, linens, anything that doesn't fit in other places. Another porcelain toilet. So this is a 3-part glass door. Latches here for when you're traveling so that the glass doesn't move. These need to be oiled, so sorry for the squeaks. So it's got a seat in it, and then the shower head. It's a pretty cheesy shower head. We're going to replace it with one that's a little bit nicer. And then it's got a sunroof. So that's pretty nice. And actually, even the height of this, if my husband stands in the tub, he is 5'11". His head does not even touch the top of this. So this is a nice amount of space in this shower here. And then it also has a fan right there. So this is the master bedroom. This does hold a king-size bed in here. So here is the dresser. It's probably about 1 foot deep, and it's got 3 drawers in it. And this is also a spot, you can't see it, but if you shine down behind there, there's a hole down there that they've brought some stuff in. Another spot that you could get mice up in, so that's a spot that we'll have to get to. This TV we put in, it is a 40-inch TV with a lockdown mount again. This basically is the largest TV you can get in this space. We have about a 1/4 inch here from the door and about a 1/2 inch here from the balance. So, and then this is a different bed. The bed that came with this, I did not like. It was extremely hard. It was like sitting on a piece of plywood. So we got rid of that and we ordered this bed off of Amazon. We had one just like this in our old RV and I loved it. So this does have storage underneath. So it's not a ton. It'll be good for maybe extra clothes and some shoes and stuff like that. So if you have an early 2020 model or even newer or older than that, this bed used to tilt up, had a tilt up function. They don't have that anymore. From what I understand, they were having some problems with it, so they have eliminated that. Does have a USB port here at electric, and then over here on this wall, there's USB and electric. Regular pull down tension blinds and little night table type things. There's the controller for the AC. So, and remember that we upgraded in this one. It comes with a 13.5. We upgraded to 15,000 BTU, so we can freeze our butts off. This is a new for late model. This is what they call a Tony door. So if you have a washer dryer system or self-contained, now you can access it through this door. Before you had to open up the closet and get to it from the inside. So that is a nice little option. Or if you don't have a washer dryer, you could put like your clothes basket there or something and have easy access to it. Barn doors for the closet. And so keep in mind now that they've got the electric and this power center here. So they made a big boo-boo by doing that. And I'll show you inside here. So the way that this is designed is technically you're supposed to have a separate washer dryer unit. Washer goes behind me, dryer over here. You can see it says dryer vent location. So now they've got this here to cover up that wiring that they put in the wall. So when you do that, the space between this wall and this trim is now reduced down to 22 inches. I don't know of a washer or dryer, I guess I should say, in the industry that is 22 inches, and I've searched. Most of them are 24 inches. So technically there is no way to get a dryer in here and have it up against the wall. And this is 12 inches. So if you were to put one in here, you'd have a 12-inch gap back there. Basically your dryer is going to take up the majority of your closet on this side. And that is not good. That's a complete failure on Sabre's part, and when we questioned them about it, they don't really have an answer for us about that. So it does have a nice amount of a shelf back there for storage, clothes, whatever, a rack, and then a shelf up here also. The King does give you a tight squeeze around there. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of our Sabre. Like I said, this was designed to show people maybe looking in the market for something with these desires with the second bath and the bunkhouse and storage, what you can get out of this unit. Or if you have an early model, you can see the change that were made in the later units. If you were looking for one and on your dealer only has an early model, these are some of the things in the late model you might want to either wait for, or if you don't like them, then you want to get an early model unit. I also want to say that at no point in time did I think that I was going to get this unit and there was not going to be issues with it. Just like building a house, and we built one from the ground up, there's always going to be issues with something. We did find a few things that the dealer fixed when we went to our PDI. We have found a couple since we've left. We've only had it just over a week now, but they're minor things that we can fix. There were a couple things like the dryer. There's not much we can do about that right now. But if you have any questions, or if you have other things that you have found and you have a unit like this, I would be happy to answer any questions. So thanks for joining.